the record proves it. In court, she changed what the accusations even were. In public, Emily called the accusations sexual assault, declined. But once I sued her, her lawyers argued that her own words were never factually a claim at all, only her protected emotional truth. She said, and I quote, "Her story is admirable, and in telling it, she is stating her emotional truth, not some statement of decisive fact." My attorney answered that with one line. Emotional truth is not a recognized defense to defamation in Texas. And this is not just my side spin on her defense. The magistrate judge, who stated
41.
her own emotion in her own words,
That's the one I need to do.
described it in exactly those terms. She also argues that her statement, considered in its entirety, was an opinion or her protected emotional truth. The judge did not buy it on the part that matters the most. Vague feelings about a relationship can be protected opinion, but falsely accusing someone of sexual assault, the judge held, is different, because those words can only mean one thing: that I committed a crime. She found exactly that about Shung's accusation. Considering the gist of Shung's statement, which included allegations of sexual assault, the court finds that it was reasonably capable of a defamatory meaning to plausibly plead a claim for defamation against Shung based on her allegedly untrue statement that includes allegations of sexual assault. So here's where it stands. She told millions of people I sexually assaulted her. She has never produced a police report. We dated for months after that, the night that she points to. And when I took her to court, her own lawyers argued those words were not a factual accusation, but her feelings, her emotional truth. The federal magistrate judge recommended that my defamation claim goes forward on exactly that statement, and in her exact words, found it reasonably capable of a defamatory meaning. Her filings say we never got back together. The messages from those months say otherwise. In her brief reply, her lawyer stated in a footnote, for clarity, Shunkin and Zunino did not get back together after the assault. Sadly, this is a common tactic by abusers to try to justify their behavior towards victims. But on her own live stream, she described that same breakup as nothing more than a short period. A short period is a brief break, and then we got back together. So let me be exact about the timeline, because this is where people have gotten confused. According to Andrew and her lawyers, we broke up in October 2024, and they told the court that we never got back together. Every message below is after that. On November 18th, I told Emma that she could come over, and she said, "Is it okay if my alarms go off at 10 LOL?" I said, sure. On December 16th, I asked if she wants to come over. She tries to call my phone. On December 18th, she makes me salmon for dinner. When I tell her my uncle died, she asks if I want to come over, and she does. On December 21st, she asks to come shower at my place. Can I still come over tonight? Because she wanted to sleep with me. You know how you said my shower was cold? Obviously, I was at her place. My hot water completely is out now. I want to shower at your place. I'll just get up early again. I said yes. On December 25th, Christmas, she said hi, and then Merry Christmas Eve. This does sound like a couple has broken up. On December 30th, 2024, we sleep together. Me, okay, I'm going to bed. Emma said, okay. I then said, I'm just getting ready. Emma said, do you want to sleep together? I then said, yeah. Keep in mind that a lot of the calls that we had with each other are not shown, because we called each other every single day, as we slept with each other every single night. January the 15th to 18th, I called her babe in a text. Her filing said that we did not get back together after the October 2024 breakup, as she describes. These are her own messages from November, December, and January. All after that date, the filing and the messages describe two different relationships. On this point, she also says that she ended the relationship. But here's what actually happened the morning I walked out. We were together, on and on, for 3 years. A relationship we kept hitting in almost everyone around us. But near the end, We broke up. We got back together. More times after that. I wanted space, and she wanted to move closer. I told her I wanted her to move out, and that I would have space, and it was a line that never changed. The week of our official breakup in January, we had agreed to finally sit down and each say what we wanted for the future. We slept at her house. On the morning of January 23rd, 2025, she handed me a note. In it, she wrote that she wanted to marry me, that she wanted to build a life and move into an apartment right next to me, because she knew how much I needed my space. And I looked at it. I looked at her, and I handed it back to her. I told her, I can't do this anymore, and I'm sorry. And the last thing I heard as I was closing her front door, she said, don't go. This is who I am. So in my complaint, I said, we called off the relationship in January 2025. So to be exact, the exact date that our relationship ended was on January 23rd, 2025. I left Austin in early February, first for Japan, and then moved to Los Angeles came afterwards. After 2 trips overseas, the day by day in the timeline is going to be shown. These messages are shown with me and at one point my best friend Extra Emily. So Extra Emily knew that I wanted to break up with Emily for a long time, and these messages are on the exact date that I broke up with Emily on January 23rd, 2025. I messaged her and I said, bitch, I did it. I ended it. Emily said, shut up. No way. I'm free to call whenever. I said, are you streaming? And she said, not until Saturday. And then I messaged her and I said, okay, I'll call in 5. The conversation didn't end there. 2 days later, on January 25th, it was Emerald reaching out to talk things over with Extra Emily. And Extra Emily had already heard from me that it was over. So this is January 25th, 2025. Extra Emily says, okay. And then she says, she texted me to talk. I'm pretending like you didn't tell me the news. Okay, I'm talking to her on the phone soon. I then said, are you streaming tomorrow? And she said, no. So if this doesn't prove that Emily is lying, that we broke up with who, I don't know what does. So now we're going to move on to the stalking allegations and where I actually was. On February 2nd, 2025, about 10 days after we broke up, I flew to Japan. The reason why I flew to Japan is that I knew if I stayed in Austin, that we were just going to get back together and get in the same loop that we had been in for almost a year. On February 21st, 2025, I came back to Austin and stayed about 3 weeks. This is when my friend Simply had a party, which is the one that she ties to stalking. It was on February 23rd, 2 days after I landed, about a month after I broke up. On March 16th, 2025, I flew back to Japan and stayed there for nearly 2 months. On May 12th, 2025, I returned to Austin for about 2.5 weeks. And on May 29th, 2025, I moved to Los Angeles. Stalking means being near someone and contacting them when they don't want it. For most of the year after we ended it, I was on another continent and then in another state. I put distance between us deliberately, more than once. And on my own stream, here is what I exactly said about it. That week, I made flights to Japan because I didn't want to sit around and wait, possibly to get back together again. I have never talked to her in person since. I have been removed from OTK Discords. I did see her at a party once at Simply's house, one of my close friends. The house was very small and I opened the door. I said, whoops. I want to make it very clear I was not following her. It just happened that I was with someone she knew the entire night. The house is about 2,000 square feet with about 50 people. I, of course, was near her, but I was never following her. The specific incident she calls stalking is a party. Here is how she described it on her own stream from the certified transcript she filed herself. I made the mistake of thinking that I only had to cut him off through personal private communication, but I also had to start avoiding going to the same parties or places I was voting to be. There was a party that I attended. I was aware that he would be there, and I thought it wouldn't be a big deal. We're adults, right? During this party, I felt like he was following me around being paranoid.
I remember that.
30 minutes later, the room that we're in, the door opens, it's Mitz. He opens the door, makes eye contact with me, goes ooh, and closes the door and leaves. That is the entirety of her stalking allegations. Read in her own words, this is obviously not stalking. She was never cut off. She says that she cut me off through personal private communication, but she controlled the contact. She didn't block me, and on her own stream, she showed messages proving that I could still reach her. Choosing not to answer someone while never blocking them, while leaving every channel they could use to reach you wide open, and while showing no sign that you want them to stop, is not the same as being stalked. She also knew that I was going to be there. In her own words, she was aware that I would be there, and chose to attend the same party. Going someone you knew the other person would be at is the opposite of being followed. She also says that she felt and thought she was paranoid. She does not say I actually follow or monitor her. She said that she felt that way, and twice told her audience that she thought she was just being paranoid. And
Just
lastly,
being paranoid.
I opened the door and I left. For one concrete moment,
Sorry.
about 30 minutes later, I opened a door, saw that she was inside, and said ooh, and walked away. Stalkers follow you. They obsess with you. They don't open a door at your friend's party and walk away. This is an entire first-hand account in her own filing on the strength of it that she listed stalking among the crimes she accused me of. If I was stalking her, I would be the worst stalker on the planet. I left the country for months, immediately after we broke up, flew to Japan twice, and moved across the country shortly after I returned. That is the behavior of someone pulling as much distance possible between themselves and the other person, not following. And while she was calling me a stalker in front of millions of people, she was quietly making the rounds through the community, going from person to person, behind my back, spreading a version of events I had no opportunity to answer. Andrew also
Call Carly. Miss her.
that she filed a restraining order in 2 states. Edward said, and I quote, I'm already in the process of filing a restraining order in both Texas and California. A restraining order is a public record. It is not a motion. It is not a state declaration.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice
She has
messaging
not
system.
produced one.
I feel like she blocked me, dude.
Today, roughly 8 months later, after she announced it, there is still no restraining order or protective order of any kind against me that has appeared in Texas or California. My own attorney has received none, and the people who follow the case closely, watching for any violence of any type, have also found none. And the timing is the whole point. In both states she named, an emergency order is built to be fast because it's meant for people in real danger.
No, but
In California, a judge can grant a temporary restraining order the same day you apply, with a full hearing set just 21 to 25 days from now. In Texas, a judge can grant a temporary ex parte protective order the same day on a finding and clear and present danger, with a hearing within 14 days. Someone who genuinely needs protection can have a temporary order in hours, not months. She said that she was already in the process in October 2025. 8 months later, there was nothing. She also told her audience that my lawsuit was a bluff, that I couldn't win. In nearly the same breath, she predicted that I would sue her and waved it off in advance as meaningless. She put, and I quote, I would not be surprised if he tried to sue me for the stream that I did today and for coming out about him. Not because he thinks that he would win, but for PR reasons, like a slap lawsuit. Interesting. So on camera, she was sure of 2 things. A restraining order was already on the way, and then my case was baseless. It was a PR stunt that I couldn't win. Neither of those things have held up. There's been no restraining order or protective order that has ever appeared in Texas or California. And the judge, who reviewed her motion to throw my case out, recommended the opposite, that it be stolen. She told her audience I could not win. The court let me proceed. So here's the part that she leaves out about the party. Simply,
How about this?
is one of my closest friends. We lived together for years, and at the time, we were going through our both breakups and dealing with our own problems. When I got back from Japan, she is the one who invited me. I was not there to find her. While Simply was giving me a tour of his house, I opened the door. I saw 4 OTK members sitting there in the corner and closed it. That is the whole opening the door moment that she describes
That's talking.
as me stalking her. I want that to sink in. That is what she described as stalking. Moment she describes a tour of my best friend's house.
Well, I don't know who's telling the truth and who's not telling the truth at this point. I don't like him, but I don't know her, so I'm like, okay.
The group in the corner was about and what was going on. I thought that they were making another version of OTK, and I got worried. An extra Emily just told me to basically not worry at all. That was it. And she somehow labeled that as stalking. In May of 2025, 5 months after we broke up, I sent her a long message by her own account on her own stream. She received it and sat without responding until her friends told her it had to be AI. She said in that quote, I had someone send me a massive apology message and I wasn't sure what to respond. I showed a couple of friends and they were like, this is literally ChatGPT.
Okay, that's tougher. Okay, so now smelter. Mine rate. Feels good. Let's make 2 more videos. Need to make 2 more.
I had someone send me like a massive apology message, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to respond. So I showed a couple friends, and they're like, "Demi, this is literally ChatGPT," and I was like, "Oh." I guess I'm not responding.
You could put it back in the ChatGPT and be like, "Is this?"
Yeah, no, they did, and ChatGPT said it's probably ChatGPT.
This is obviously about me because we were in a relationship the entire time that ChatGPT existed. This was months before she even went public with the accusation. You do not consider how to respond to a person you say sexually assaulted, abused you, and stalked you. The only thing that stopped her was that her friends decided that my words were too well written to be mine.
Why aren't you working?
Let's now talk about the abuse that Emily tried to repeat. Here's the truth. In my own words, I have never hit Emily. The one physical thing that ever happened was I had a habit of tossing my phone off my bed, and one time it bounced off the mattress and caught her in the eye, and it left a bruise. I felt terrible about it. I apologized immediately. I stopped throwing my phone that day, and we moved past it. That is the only time I ever hurt her, and it was not on purpose. What makes that more than just my word is that, at the time, her phone matched it. In 2022, when she had the bruise, she did not call it abuse to anyone. She called it an accident both publicly and in private. In Emmer's best friend at the time in the Capitol, on August 11, 2022, surrounded by all of Emmer's close friends and even her brother, she said official 3 years later, when Emery went live. The bruise never changed. The story about it did. I will also have more messages about this as my lawyer lets me show, proving that this was never abuse, and Emery has changed the story of it to fit her narrative to make people think that I am a monster. Emery's accused me of sexual assault, stalking, and abuse. These are all crimes. In the time since, there's been no arrest, no criminal charges, no prosecution, no police complaints against me have surfaced anywhere in this case. On January 15, 2025, the federal magistrate judge has said to the district judge, Honorable Robert Pickett, that he will deny Emily Shum's motion to dismiss the first amendment complaint. The order was initially asked to submit a more definitive statement within 30 days, identifying each statement by Shum he alleges to be including the exact sources of why he how each statement is true and how it was. So what this essentially means is that the motion to dismiss did not go through, and that we are continuing the court case. That recommendation still goes to the district judge for a final decision. And that same recommendation is why we're recommending this. The court told me to spell it out one by one, exactly what she said that I allege is false, and how it harmed me. This is what I'm doing. It is the court that takes me forward, not a verdict, and I won't describe it. Much of the internet, I am a rapist, I'm an abuser, and I'm a stalker. None of that is true. And that is a version of me posted under every video I made and handed to people who used to watch me, people I work with, and people who have never met me. It has cost me my reputation that I've worked 10 years for. It has reached my family, it has reached my friends, and has hurt my work directly. Making content,
Boom.
answers, and using the platform I spent years building, the same community she built her following on. And it did not stay online.
I don't know. I don't like him, but I don't know her, so I don't know if I can trust her. I wanted to watch Aspen Gold
After I picked up a wristband,
because I trust him.
security guards walked me out.
I know him more than
And posts
Miskiff.
mocking me for it reached hundreds of thousands of people. I have been called a rapist to my face in bars and restaurants for most of the last 8 months. And I decided to stand aside because of that. This is a girl named Meg who said, imagine being such a prick you got kicked out of the FlyQuest party after showing up uninvited. This is another tweet. LOL, Miskiff got kicked out of the FlyQuest party after getting rejected on the Partyful app. And then someone asked, what is this party? Also, what is the Partyful ALR? Thanks for ahead of time. She said, TLDR, he was rejected from the esports party, showed up anyway, and got kicked out instantly. So they tried to paint a narrative that I was kicked out and that I was not invited. I want to make it very clear. I was invited by my friend Alana. She just texted me and said go. And I have been to hundreds of parties before Emery's allegations with no problem in any way, shape, or form. And I got texted by Alana to go to this party with my friend Jean.
I love that he threw Alana under the bus.
We did get wristbands immediately, and we were able to walk in. 15 minutes later was when I was escorted out. I never had a problem getting into the party. I showed my ID just like everyone else and waited in line and was immediately let in, only to be almost immediately let out. This was not a case of someone who was simply disliked. And before I left for Japan, after I broke up with Emery, I was around creators of every kind. And when I came back, almost no one spoke to me. And while I was in Japan, Emery went through all of my old friends and everyone that we were friends with and spread lies about me. And instead of going to the police or any legal channel, she went straight to the people who matter the most in my life and my career. Whether out of bitterness that I was the one who ended it, or for some other reason, I cannot say. What I can say is that friends stepped back, not for anything I did, but for what she told them while I wasn't in the room. And the harm was done before I even said a single word. People watched Emery's live stream and came almost immediately to every place you could find me and said that I was a rapist and destroyed my name. A false story then took hold that I had admitted to everything when I hadn't. When I spoke, I denied everything, and you can see it on my YouTube channel. And the filed transcript proves it. But people who had already made up their mind repeated the false version anyway. Her words were chosen with care. precise enough to be legally actionable, vague enough to let an audience picture the worst. She never had to say rapist. She said sexual assault. And to the millions of people that she said that to, people now call me rapist to my face. That is the harm. It is ongoing. It is every day. And that is why this record exists. Before the breakup, I was not an outcast, as many of you think. I was the center of this community. This is the opposite of the story that people now tell about me. In the year before the breakup, 2022, my house was constantly having people there. I had 4 or 5 creators staying at my house almost every single night. I had Extra Emily, who was in the backyard doing something. I was hosting something, streaming with others, and collaborating with people across the entire Twitch scene. In the year that people try to paint that I was a nobody, I had over 100 collaborations with other creators, and I helped lead OnlyFans, the hardcore World of Warcraft guild that had over 300,000 active people checking in on it every single day, that Soda Pop and I ran together, which brought more than 300 creators into the same guild, and that was just a single month. In October 2024, 3 months before our breakup, I collaborated with Foozly, Pokimane, the Botez sisters, T10 Nat, Hassan, and Extra Emily. I had a boys' night with NMP, E-Rob, and my friend Dave. I went to go see all of the Game of Thrones collection before they went on auction, and I even hung out with Jason, Max, and Ron that year. I also collaborated with people like Mari, Julia, and Danny. Yes, people try to call me an outcast, but I was outcasted when I came back from Japan. To show you how little of an outcast I was, these messages are between me and my friend at the time, Leslie, who is also known online as Foozly. This was November 2nd, 2024, just 2 months before me and Emerald had broken up. I was in LA, and I wanted to meet up with her, but she responded, "I won't get to see you before you go, but I'm coming to Austin for OTA game day, so I'll see you in like 2 weeks. And then you can just come to LA whenever, cause you'll love it here." Oh lol, wait, that's great. What was your apartment complex called? On November 4th, 2024, she then tells me her apartment number. This was someone that I once called one of my closest friends, Foozly, wanting me to move to LA, as I was telling her 2 months before I broke up with Emerald that I wanted to move to LA and get out of Austin, Texas. Because I knew at the time that I wanted to end it with Emerald and move on. At the time, Foozly was one of my best friends in the scene. Her and I would talk all the time about our problems, our issues. We would play games together. I was hanging out with her on stream constantly for about 3 or 4 years straight.
So how that's important?
We'd call each other. Whenever I was in LA, she was the first person I called. Foozly, whose real name is Leslie, I met her 4 years ago when I went on a girl named Catamia's stream on Subathon. And it turned into some of the most fun I ever had streaming. We became close fast. We played games together all the time. We talked constantly about content, our lives, our relationships, problems. When I was anywhere near LA, she was the first person I called. And just 2 months before my relationship ended, she wanted me to move into her own building in LA. Right there, with her, November 2024 text will show that the unit under Valkyries is available, and come to LA whenever. I'll love it here. That is the friendship this next part is going to show you that I had. I was very close to all of these people in LA, just like I was to everyone in Austin. But I wanted to move to LA, and I knew I wanted to break up with Emerald. This next part that I'm going to show will show you what has happened to my reputation ever since Emerald's accusations. On June 18th, 2025, after texting how excited that she was for me to come over, Foozly came to my house to hang out. She cut my hair, and I streamed it. The very next day, June 19th, is when Cutie Cinderella sent the message shown before you that Foozly had gone to Cutie asking what she thought about me. And Cutie told her her feelings, and then told her to reach out to Emerald. Cutie is a dumbass, and sent that message to an account that she thought was Emerald, but it wasn't. It was MEOK, who then gave it to me after Emerald made her allegations, showing you that people were my friends prior, but then once they heard Emerald's allegations, completely stopped talking to me. That is a 24-hour window between Foozly sitting in my house and excited to be there, and Cutie privately briefing me on what it is and how to think about me. After the one private conversation, Foozly stopped talking to me entirely. That friend friend who wanted to be there on day one of me moving to LA. That friend that wanted me to live in her apartment complex under her friend Valkyrie was gone because she was told what to say and how to think about it. That friend who was at my house one day who wanted me to live with her at Wonderland was never.
Fucking shit, dude.
She was told in a private message she was never supposed to have. A message from someone who was not even involved. Repeating claims about me that were never true. And making her doubt a real friendship over accusations I was never even given the chance to answer. About a month later, after she hasn't responded to me, I went to a 100 Thieves party with some of my friends, and she was there. And Foosley walked up to me that night and began crying on my shoulder. When I asked her what was wrong, she told me that we could not hang out anymore because of what she heard I did to Emma. At the time, I had no idea what was going on and what she was saying about me, and I would ask her to tell me what was said, but she would say no more. I tried to reach out to Foosley afterwards multiple times. She never responded. On June 27th was the date of the 100 Thieves party.
This is really good. We're doing the merchant, and with the merchant right now because we're paying a lot of attention. We're upgrading everything that I need to upgrade.
She said,
This is the first time I'm doing this.
I then said, just sad the reality, but maybe whatever. I then said, it's just so fake, the politics are fake, so much crap and so much cheating and drama, and nobody cares and they hang out. But here I am, and people...
Nice. I got an Oja Jack here.
The next day, we should talk, not drunk, off street. She never responded. And on March 4th, to my friend Foosley, I said to her, I hope one day we can hang out, and you can see that she lied. So you have one day where she's at my house having fun, the next day Kitty Cinderella messages her, and then she never talks to me again. This is what was constantly happening to me for about a year until Emily came out for allegations. I was not an outcast. I was friends with every creator. I slowly became an outcast over that year as Emery's lies were spread amongst the community. And nobody told me what was really going on. For almost a year now, I have been forced to live inside a bubble that isn't mine. And it doesn't feel real. I've been wrongfully punished and treated and seen as a man that I am not. I've been labeled a rapist, an abuser, and a star. 3 words I have never been. Wrongfully attached to my name and my reputation and my community for the entire world to treat me as such. It's just more raw. My family's life, and it has completely destroyed me. I don't wish any of this on me. Among my worst enemies. There were nights it would have been easier to just disappear, to be quiet, to let the loudest version of the story become the only one. But it didn't disappear, and I'm not going to. This is not the first time, and will not be the last time that I will address these allegations. I spoke the same way she did, and I have talked about it on screen since. But this is the first time I have done it in a way with a clear head, with preparation, and every document in front of me, and every quote sourced. I spoke the same day she did, and I have talked about it on stream since. But this is the first time I've done it in this way. This is only the beginning, and I'm going to go through all of this because I know she won't, because it will prove her lies. Because the truth doesn't ask me to shout, it only asks me to stay, to stand here with these documents, with the dates, with their own words, and not look away. I'm standing up for myself, I'm standing up for people who stood by me, and I'm going to keep standing for as long as
The worst thing I did was allowing it to auto idle. So a lot of the death that I have is just because I don't know I'm gonna die soon.
all I have ever wanted is for the truth to be heard, and for justice, real justice, to find its way to the streets, to my community, and to everyone who never stopped believing in me. When believing in me cost you something. Thank you. Before I go, there's just one more thing I want you to see. Just one. This whole case will be decided on evidence. The messages, the devices, the documents, everything both sides has to hand over. Under oath, I filed this lawsuit on November 3rd, 2025. By her own side's account, she knew about it November 10th. And on November 11th, the very next day, she went back on stream and told everyone watching this in her own words.
I got 2 new computers. My other computer is gone. I gave it back to Starport, and
They wipe that shit.
I'll see you in the next video. Subscribe, comment, and please spread this everywhere. It needs to get out the truth. I'm tired of people thinking of lies and understanding. Emru is a massive liar, and she needs to be stopped. Thank you.
She needs to be stopped. Rice gum.
If you want.
Breeze, when you post, your bathroom can feel like a revolving door. Keep things fresh with your Breeze bathroom. No batteries, no outlets needed. This air freshener fights odors for 45 days. So even after a good flush, you know your bathroom smells amazing. Pair with Charmin toilet paper.
La 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 la.
People will try anything to make their hair. Viral hacks. Use outdoor fridges. Freezers too. Oops. That's why they close out mountains too. Because people don't just like beer. People like cold beer.
You know what? This sounded like check. Is that a bad thing to say? Okay, so now we have Asmongold. I want to hear him first because I prefer Asmund. So if Asmund told me, hey, this guy's full of shit, I would have tried to believe a single word, but now I'm not sure. Oh, you good. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Asmund, I only need to put AS. There you go. Even A. It's enough. This dude uploads a lot of videos. Holy shit. I actually don't know where it is.
Damn, look at all this place. Girls, stand up.
That's how you cut off.
UK politicians backpedaling on trans issues.
It's not what I want to.
But you are quite pro-trans, aren't you? You've appeared in campaigns and things. I mean, do you think a woman can have a penis, because you did previously? It's an important question for a health secretary to answer.
No, I don't.
So you've changed your mind?
Yes.
Why have you changed your mind?
I think a lot of us have been thinking about this issue over recent years, and I wouldn't now say that, for instance,
La beau.
for women, I think that biological sex is
You must
important.
have known that before. You're very well educated. You went to St Paul's private school, I was reading this morning. How on earth could you have previously thought that a woman can have a penis?
Well, I think this is an issue that a lot of us have thought about in recent years, and I think there's a difference between sex.
Bouton.
This woman is cooking him so bad. I love this. Oh my god.
And gender. I think that when it comes to sex, biology is what matters, and that's why.
Do you owe women who called for, who were gender critical and then were cancelled an apology?
Look, I don't think people should be cancelled. I think people should be allowed to have their views.
Part of the reason these women
Yeah,
were
but I don't-
cancelled is because people like you denied biological sex and then they were hounded on by the trans lobby.
I love her. She did. Oh my god, she's so good. Wow. By the way, never let weasels like this ever into power. Never let them put it down. Never let them walk it back. Never let them.
Glasses have to do this.
It's over. It's over for you. Nobody should ever trust you again. You are a fucking freak.
I don't know what it is.
You already know it's gonna be some bullshit the moment that you see some hoop earrings. I mean, you see hoop earrings.
Ah. 2. Where's the Mythkit video, dude? What the fuck?
This is a game I tried it out. Like they had me try this game like quite a while ago. It finally came out, and
Okay, so what I'm gonna do?
what do I do? Load journey is this? Okay, yeah. All right. Empty.
So we're gonna go ahead with. Okay, search. Admin gold. Ms. Uh-huh. Ouch. Okay. Whew. It's warm as fuck, dude. My apologies. Part 2.
that she loved this so hard because it shows you she has her daggers out, you know? Like, she will literally say, oh, I love you, girl, and then go turn around and say, don't talk to her.
there, and Jimmy privately briefed her on what it is.
Some users agreed with this assessment. Presented in Misty's video, big duties in her own action were inconsistent with the public image. They argued that private conversations suggested creative and easily decisions behind the scenes. Others were critical to it, posting memes and jokes about duties in her own authenticity. Some claimed she in no way to have a fake performance like they had alleged. A handful of commenters used much harsher language, making exaggerated comparisons to other figures while criticizing duties in her own performance situation. The outgoing female vendetta her son was taken another step, indebtedly once again questioning how her son relates to political commentary on stream while reacting to one of her son's recent performances. Destiny said he believes his son's delivery was noticeably changed over time. According to Destiny, the son knows how to speak freely, prepared notes, learning the use of non-political rhetoric.
That's why serious people who are supposed to be serious analysts are not looking at the situation and
Boom.
recognizing the changes. I don't know. I hate the way he talks now. I don't know if I can't tell if he's reading something, but I can't even emulate it. He does this thing now where every single time he's about to go on some kind of tirade, it's almost like he has prepared notes for what he's going to say. This is why every single time you look at his stream, there's always all of these new things that are happening, but he's always repeating the same points over and over again. It's almost like there is some kind of prepared thing, analysis, actively. Oh my god, I notice this so much now, it's driving me crazy. But what I cannot comprehend is why serious people who are supposed to be serious analysts, I don't think he spoke like this in the past. I feel like I've never noticed this before. Some of these were so bad, bro. I saw this one.
He's running the most, they're calling it the most Hasanabi campaign of all time, okay?
Many of Destiny's supporters agreed with his criticism, claiming her son frequently relies on the same talking points, regardless of the topic. Some joked that her son struggles to speak for long without looking at notes, while others argued he repeats arguments instead of directly addressing criticism. Several commenters also claimed her son's responses often shift toward personal attacks rather than engaging with opposing arguments, saying Destiny's observations matched what they've noticed over time. However, Hassan's supporters strongly pushed back against the accusation. Many pointed out that Destiny himself is well known for using extensive research documents and no mature arguing it was hypocritical to criticize someone else for preparing material that was discussing complicated political topics. Others argued that repeating similar arguments doesn't necessarily mean someone is reading from a script, especially if they're consistently covering the same political issues for a large audience.
What the fuck?
Dismissed Destiny's comments entirely, saying the criticism had been less about the son's presentation and more about the personal rivalry between the two creators, the burden being her son lost the secret class.
Hit F10 for secret class. Honestly, you know what? I think he got me, but I was 50% sure that was going to happen anyway. Alright guys, I think you got me, but I was 50% sure that was going to happen.
Mm.
Look what they need to mimic a fraction of our power.
Here she is. I'm gonna show her the camera, okay? You can. She looks really mad. She looks so mad. Okay, sweetheart. Be nice. Oh. Fig doesn't really know her name. Yeah, Fig doesn't know much. Fig doesn't know her name. Fig doesn't know how to sit. Fig does know how to pee and poop outside, which is very impressive, actually. She's also very grumbly in the same way that P is grumbly. Don't bite her ears. She's eating her ear hair. Right, can we not do that? It's not nice. Okay, you just... Right, Fig. She didn't do anything to deserve that. She responds better to Figgy than Fig. Oh, she loves her sister so much.
Guys, after playing this...
Yeah, so here's Nemesis.
We can't damage him because he's currently empowered by the books scattered throughout the tomb. So I think we'll have Ahmed bait him for now.
I have a joke for you. What is a skeleton's favorite snack? Gas! Gas! Gas got you! Why won't you answer me?
Shh. Ahmed. No. I'm sorry, buddy.
A few minutes later.
So we need to bait that guy. Ahmed, you need to bait this guy further down.
What is my favorite snack? No! No! Ribs! Spare ribs!
Yeah, so here's Nemesis.
Men's rights people are so funny to me because their thing is always like, nobody cares, the boys commit. It's like, stop doing it. I don't know what to tell you. Stop playing video games and go be part of something. You're like, guys work in construction. Stop. Go be an accountant. I just think it's like kind of pathetic. These guys that are like, no one cares about the plight of boys. I'm like, yeah, probably because girls have it worse. I don't want to sound like a woke asshole.
Nah, you sound like a woke asshole, bro. One of your first freaking
Men's
no.
rights people are so funny to me because their thing is always like,
how crazy was that fight where they called the fight because he stepped on a piece of glass inside the cage?
I don't know, man. I don't even know what that referee was doing.
All they had to do was pull it out of his toe. He's like, yeah, I stepped on something. I stepped something in my toe. And the referee's like, fight's off.
Yeah, I think
fight's off. And he's
we shouldn't
pointing
be
to his
there.
toe. And he's saying, just let me get it out of my toe. And you know, things happen. Who knows how...
First of all, let me apologize for...
A good team can double.
First of all, let me apologize for my gravel voice. I've been at Comic-Con, so I can't speak really.
It's kind of hard.
You shouldn't say that to me.
If you could have, like, on-screen, like, banter with any character, who would it be?
I kind of want to play with Spider-Man.
Yes.
Who's Tessa?
His dog! Oh my gosh, educate yourself.
Oh my God, you just shot the Winter Soldier in the face.
You're making me look really bad, guys.
You have a good time on the internet tonight.
So what it is? Wait, time out. How do you know who Tessa is?
Thanks, man. Nice to see you.
I cannot wait to see you in Secret Tours.
Thank you.
Oh my god. Okay, so I'm obviously thinking of everything in the world to say to you, but
Okay.
I just want to focus over here.
First of all, let me apologize for my gravel voice. I've been at Comic-Con, so I can't speak really.
It's kind of hard.
You shouldn't say that to me.
If you could have, like, on-screen
Stream banter with everybody.
any character, who would it be?
I kind of want to play with Spider-Man.
Yes.
Who's Tessa?
His dog! Oh my gosh, educate yourself.
Oh my God, you just shot the Winter Soldier in the face.
You're making me look really bad,
You
guys.
have a good time on the internet tonight.
So what it is? Wait, time out. How do you know who Tessa is?
Thanks, man. Nice to see you.
I cannot wait to see you in Secret Tours.
Caught him.
he goes out there. Have you ever thought about what would it?
Wait, what are we getting? Because right now this jumbo colored activity book looks really good to me.
Last my car got a boner. Hey, a SpongeBob coloring book. Should we get it?
Jake, wait, what are we getting? Because right now this jumbo colored activity book looks really good to me.
Last my car got a boner. Hey, a SpongeBob coloring book.
Jake.
Jake, wait, what are we getting? Because right now this jumbo colored activity book looks really good to me.
The man. Come on. No, why did you close?
Last my car got a boner. Hey, a SpongeBob coloring book.
Fuck the... No. Sorry, guys. I messed up. Closed it by mistake. What am I watching, dude? I don't want to watch this. I do want to watch anime, though. I know. I got a big ego. I'm at 426. This is great. Okay. Ouch.
January 3rd, Josh's Facebook post of him showing off his deep fried steak on December 3rd.
No way. Oh, nice. I remember the snack for my trolls. So good. It's so funny. No, dude. It's a bit weird. Not gonna lie, it's a bit weird.
That same day, during a very long, non-live gender relations video response.
That no one watched. Gender relationship. Here we go again.
This turned out to be a lie. Josh's video got slowed down because he couldn't figure out how to go live on his new Apple iMac after receiving the 7. January 3rd, Josh said that he was gifted Domino's gift cards for Christmas.
I got some Domino's gift cards for Christmas. I'm definitely spending them, yeah, buddy.
Which explained him being able to buy 2 pizzas. Well, on the first...
Can you do this one?
I'm not ready yet.
Okay. Mm-hmm. You're missing out. This pizza be popping. That was good pizza, you two.
8:42 p.m., almost a day after saying he'd be taking a break from live streaming, Josh attempted numerous times to go live with a video called Chillin' and was unsuccessful. On January 4th, Josh, most likely low on funds, posted a Facebook link to a King Cobra hat that he had designed on his customized girl's store. That same day, Josh posted pictures of his family holiday to Florida that he did not attend. Josh's dad, Clint, was quick to comment that Josh is always invited to family gatherings, but declines due to stress and anxiety. January 5th, Josh posted on Facebook that he was going to be making a cooking video on Christmas. Josh got into the trend of ordering groceries using DoorDash, and cooking videos with ribs became a regular feature on Josh's channel. At around 10 p.m., Stephanie, Josh's ex-girlfriend, posted a reaction video of Josh's video reacting to her video reacting to his cooking.
It's obvious that Stephanie's still 40 for this car.
Nope, I don't want to back you. Thank you.
South of my ass.
Some people like me.
More.
Oh, there's another one.
Shortly after the video was posted,
Mm.
Josh saw the video and made a comment calling Stephanie